Hey everyone, welcome to Crypto Weeklies. My name is Josh and I wish you a very happy Sunday. Today we'll be discussing about Bitcoin. It's been a while since I talked about Bitcoin and its price prediction using ARIMA, which stands for Autoregressive Integrated Moving Average. And this forecast, unlike other forecasts, would not be just for 2023 but till the end of 2027, starting June of 2023, and it uses Bitcoin's historical price action since 2014, October 2014. And I'll be presenting three different scenarios. These are the AI forecasts, the ones that you're seeing on the screen. These are the base values of the forecast for Bitcoin. Then I'll be also using another uh, scenario which is more bullish, which accounts for both the base values as well as how it would be look. It could go, how high it could go if the values are two standard deviations away from the mean. Um, and that would help us establish what the theoretical top would be for the next market cycle for Bitcoin. And the third scenario that I will be presenting is the recession or the hard landing or extreme bearishness in starting in 2023, and that would be the recession related forecast, and it will still have the base values as well as it would be more like a range as opposed to the flat values that you're seeing on the screen right now. So let's get started. As you can see, the color codes that you might have previously seen on the content on this channel. If you are familiar, I'll just not familiar, then I'll just summarize it. So when the color is deep green, that means the z-score is negative, and that means that the price is relatively low compared to the average price of Bitcoin for that market cycle. And when the color is deep red, that means the z-score for that cycle, for that point in time, is positive. So for example, in December 2017, when the close price or the price for that month was around 15,000, that was 4.2 standard deviation away from the average price of Bitcoin for the first market cycle. Similarly, in the second market cycle, during the monthly average price of 57,000, the running z score, or the z score, not running z scores, this is the z score at that point in time was 2 standard deviation away from the mean. And similarly, during the low phases of the cycle, let's say in January of 2019, the running score, or the z score at that point in time was negative 1.1. So that's how the color code came into existence. This is the trend line, the logarithmic regression trend line, and these are the forecasted values that you're seeing on the screen, and they have a pattern. For the month of July of 2023, or let's say for the month of June of 23, these are the most likely values based on the historical price action for Bitcoin's price, for Bitcoin's average monthly uh, price in US dollars. So for month of June, I'll do in increments of 3 months. In interest of time, for the month of June, the forecasted price is around $22,000, which is 6,000 below its current price, around 28,000. That's what Bitcoin was trading in the last month. So let's go to October of 2023 next. The forecasted monthly average price is around $24,000. The next price I'd like to focus is in January of 2024. That is like almost 3 months prior to the halving, which is to be scheduled in most likely scheduled in April of 2024. The forecasted average price is around 27,700, which is pretty close to what the Bitcoin's current average price is. I'll just skip over to the month of May of 2024. That's when we'll most definitely have, by that time we might have seen the halving passes. That would be the monthly average forecast is around 30,400. That is $2,000 higher to the current monthly average price. And skipping over to the December of 2024, the forecasted price is around $34,000, sorry, $33,700, which is a little over 5,000 or 6,000 above the current uh, price. The next price that I would, this next month or I would focus is May of 2025. That is almost 1 year up after the halving. That's when we historically have gotten the extreme bullish phases of the Bitcoin's price action. So we had halving in 2020, then in April 2021 was the first theoretical high. Similarly, in 2016, around December, we had the highs. So by that logic, in May of 2025, that this is the forecasted base value without any without any fluctuation to the upside or bullish surge. So this is the kind of like a fair value forecast that I have covered in a previous video. So that is the forecasted base value is around $39,000, which is 11,000 higher than the current price. And none of these prices or the values that you're seeing on the screen are financial advice. These are just use of historical data and machine learning and AI technique to forecast future prices. They're bound to have certain level of error threshold built into it, but I have tried my level best to help mitigate that by presenting three scenarios: the bullish and the bearish, and the range covered in the standard deviation, the +2 standard deviation and -2 standard deviation. So I'll be discussing that in the later of the video. Moving to the December of 2025, the forecast is around 43,000 US dollars, which is little over 15,000 higher from the current price. But as you might be aware that almost 1 year after, almost 2 years after the halving is where we typically get a bear market. So for example, in 2022, around June, was was kind of the first part of the bear market, and in this month of December is where we typically see a low of for the Bitcoin. So that's how, like, in the month of December of 2022, or sorry, 2026, actually, not 2025. So in the month of December of 2026, the forecasted price is around $54,000. But as you can see that although this price is kind of high, uh, that the eventual price for that month would depend on how far Bitcoin rallies in the next bull market. If it rallies that high, then maybe the by the usual drawdowns in the bear market, like we had, like around 80%, we have a move to the downside. If that sits well with that forecast of December 2026, then it is contingent about on that event. So I'll just continue and present two more values in July of 2027, which could be the pre-halving year, based on like the two the halving after the one we will have in 2024. 2028 would be the next halving. So that the forecast at that point of time is around 59,220, and the last value that I'll be focusing on is around December of 2027, which would be theoretically around 3 months prior to the subsequent halving. From the next halving would be around 69,000. That fairly coincides with the peak that we had, almost not the average price, but the peak that we had in November of 2021. So these are the base values. Moving on to the range that I had mentioned earlier. So these the chart that you're seeing is kind of the bullish Bitcoin prediction at a monthly level, and this range is considers the base value that we just discussed as the bottom half of the range, and the top half is the 2 standard deviation away from the mean price. And I'll focus on 3 or 4 months in here to make more sense. I'll just skip ahead to December of 2023. The forecasted price, like with 2 standard deviation away, like if we have like a extremely bullish outlook at that point in time, the AI model forecasts um, $54 or $53,000 as a monthly average price just 3 months prior to the halving. That would be the extreme bullish. But if you can also, instead of 2 standard deviation, we can also have like what would happen in case of 1 standard deviation, and this is the forecast in that scenario. That would be around $26,000 would be the base forecast, and 1 standard deviation would be somewhere in the middle of this range, would be around 35,000. That would be the idea. That's how these ranges are calculated. uh, let's skip ahead to the actual halving, month of halving. The extremely bullish forecast in that scenario would be like the theoretical ceiling would be around $57,000 just in the month of halving. And let's skip ahead to the 1 year after the halving, which would be around May of 2025. So this is the maximum permissible uh, permissible price at a base level. This doesn't consider z-scores that we usually cover. This is the max permissible base price, on top of which we can have like a theoretical z-score, which like based uh, surge yeah, during the bullish phase, the theoretical bullish phase that we are forecasting based on historical data, again not financial advice, in May of 2025 is around 2 standard deviation away, would be 66,400. That would be the plus 2 standard deviation uh, price. And this could well not be the ceiling, or could well be within the ceiling based on how far Bitcoin's price action extends as a function of z-score. So if we have like we had like in the first cycle, we had 4.2 standard deviation or 4.2 of a z-score at the top, whereas over here we had almost 2.2. So if we further extend it by a couple of like if we get to the uh, price or the z-score of almost in the range of 2.5, then these would be the most logical prices at that point in time. Let's move ahead to December of 2026, uh, and this would be the kind of during the extreme bearish phase uh, uh, of the market cycle. In the next market cycle, and just avoiding all bearishness, if we just go to the right without any hindrance, that this is the kind of the theoretical ceiling for December of 2026 at $81,000. And the last one that I would be conducting is like just 3 months prior to the the halving. After the next halving would be around December of 2027, and this is the um, theoretical ceiling price for that time frame is around $95,000. uh, and just uh, just just wanted to share that these are all the bullish side of the story, but we can't just hope that Bitcoin only has a bullish phase. We also have to contend with the bearish phases that we usually contend during the halving or the recovery phases. So this is the monthly average price in event of a hard landing sometime, or like a persistent hard landing scenario. If Bitcoin faces a certain type of headwinds, this is the capped return based on the AI model. So I'll start from assuming that we get a recession and then we have a slow recovery. In that scenario, December of 2027 could look like, instead of $95,000, it could be somewhere around $82,000. So almost $13 delta. And this, yeah, this caps like instead of 2 standard deviation, it would be 1 standard deviation. That makes more sense in that event. And similarly for May of 2025, uh, if that coincides with a recessionary time, so instead of Bitcoin reaching an all-time high uh, due to the impact of recession, it could stagger around somewhere around 52,700 due to the macroeconomic environment that we all function in. And these are the theoretical ceilings. Let's come to the floor. This assumes we get a recession like in the month of May or something, and that's why I just wanted to highlight what could happen to Bitcoin, like in worst case scenario. The forecasted price, a monthly average price of Bitcoin in the earlier phases of the recession would be around $8,200. Not rooting for these prices definitely, or any prices for that matter. This is just data science exercise. And then in the month of halving, the assuming that we get a recession uh, right away, the month of halving would be around $16,000. But let's say we don't get a recession right away. If the timeline is shifted by 3 months, then essentially these forecasts would also shift by 3 months. So instead of we hitting the bottom in August, let's say if we get a recession declared in like September or October, then the theoretical bottom would be somewhere in January. So that's how this model works. Similarly, during the theoretical peak, uh, estimated based on historical data again, in month of April of 2025, the bottom, like the due to the like the macroeconomic environment of a recession, the floor for this month would be around $24,000, which is almost 4,000 lower than the current price of Bitcoin. So just a heads up, not to induce unnecessary panic uh, in the industry, but like as a listener, like as a creator, it's my duty to keep everyone informed that what AI thinks, not what I think about the future of Bitcoin. So yeah, coming to the almost like a December of 2026, that would be like, based on what we have seen so far, the most ideal time for the bear market would be around that time frame. And then the forecast, if we have a recession and then we usually have a recovery, then in that scenario the forecasted price for November or December of 2026 is around $38,000, which is exactly around $10,000 higher from the current price. And the last value they will be covering is the in event of session is around December of 2027 is around $51,000. I hope you like this content. I know it was kind of like a long video, but I just wanted to provide update on not just a shorter time frame that I usually do, but like say like couple of market cycles for Bitcoin. If you did, please give us a like or subscribe to our channel. I have also added the Bitcoin specific playlist to this video, so give it a look as well. And I hope to see you soon in the next week. Thank you. Bye bye.